When starting out, most detailers dream of working on cars just like this. But in today's video, I'm going to show you some of the challenges these supercars, hypercars and fancy cars like that actually pose against cleaning your regular everyday car. And then I'm going to show you some of the tips and techniques to get the best from these vehicles. Starting things off by getting the car in the wash bay, and as always we're going to start with the wheels. On this occasion we're using a mix of our Revolution wheel soap in a bottle, and then we also have it in a bucket to accommodate all of our brushes. You can use this like a normal wheel cleaner, spray it to the wheel and then rinse off to remove as much dirt as possible before you come into contact with them. One of the blessings with these types of vehicles is a lot of them run carbon ceramic, so the wheels are not usually that dirty. If they are, it is a bit more of a hassle. You'll need to jack the car up, remove the wheels and clean them off of the vehicle if you require stronger products to get the cleaning process done. Then we come in with our bucket, all of our brushes, respray the wheels and then start on the barrels. I like to start in a 12 o'clock position when cleaning wheels, work my way around, and then when I'm back at top dead centre, I know I've completed the whole wheel. Now with all four wheels complete, we turn our attention to the bodywork, and first things first, it's time for a thorough rinse down. This process is super important on these cars because, as you see in the befores, these vents and grills like this one here gather a lot of grime, grit and stones, and we don't want to leave that there to then be picking it up on our wash mitt later down the line. So we're going to spend a good amount of time rinsing everything down before we do anything else. And now it's time for everyone's favourite part of the detail. It's time to layer on some snow foam. For those that are not aware of what a snow foam is, it's basically a foaming detergent that you layer onto the vehicle to break down as much road grime as possible. The beauty of this is it means you can use a less aggressive detergent that won't stain or etch any sensitive trims. It's safe on wax, sealants, coatings, but what it also allows it to dwell for longer, break down more road grime, soften whatever's left behind, meaning you can just rinse it off. The aim of the game when you're cleaning cars is always to remove as much dirt and grime as possible before you come into contact with it with a wash mitt, a microfiber or a brush. We're going to leave this to sit and dwell on the car for as long as physically possible and then rinse it from top down. Now there is conflicting information on the internet about rinsing from bottom to top, but my personal preference and the way I look at it is you're trying to remove dirt from the car, so you don't want to be rinsing it up the vehicle back into all those gaps and crevices that you've already flushed out and rinsed. And finally, we are ready for our contact wash. Using 2 buckets, a wash mitt and some shampoo in the bucket closest to the vehicle, we take fresh solution onto the upper areas of the car first. We always start with the roof, then go bonnet, sides, front and lowers, meaning we do the grubbiest areas of the car last. After we've done a panel, we take the mitt, rinse it off in our fresh clear water before taking fresh solution from the wash bucket back to the car and cleaning down. We do around about half a hood or half a roof, maybe a door at a time before rinsing. This is where these cars get super intricate and super tricky to clean because you've got to get into all them gaps and grills, and you've got to remember to get behind them as well. There's nothing worse than cleaning the front panel of something just to leave the inside of it still grubby. So the wash stage does take probably about 30 to 50% longer on these types of cars as opposed to if you were cleaning a normal, regular, everyday car. And with our contact wash complete, we then rinse the car from top to bottom one final last time. We're using pure water here, so it means if there are any runs or drips later on, they won't cause any watermarks, which is a bit of a blessing because in our area we have super hard water. With the car thoroughly rinsed, we then towel dry it down, and that is where these types of cars become a real headache. Drying these is no fun at all because you've got to get your towel into all these little gaps, crevices. This rear wing's a real headache, so are all the bits that go with it as well, and then all the little gaps and grills that you've got to try and get your fingers into to get them dry. And then it's time for us to bust out the air blower. This little tool is super handy on these cars because you can blow out all of the water that's sitting behind all these little intricate parts, in grills, behind badges, in gaps. Now they're useful on any type of car, don't get me wrong, but they really come into their own when you're on vehicles like this. Wash stage complete, and it's time to get it back in the bay for those finishing touches. Glass is probably my least favourite thing to do on these cars because, well, I don't fit between one of these roll cages and the back seats very well. If anyone does a longer stick with a microfiber on the end, reach out because, yeah, I really need one right now. You may be thinking, what is this guy doing running around the car with a torch? He's not even had a machine polisher near it. Well, no, I haven't, and no, I'm not about to either. What I'm doing here is using a light source to check for any smears or bits that we might have missed on the wash stage and drying stage, just to make sure our work is absolutely A1. No matter what light this car's parked in, I want it to be looking the best it possibly can. And there we go then. Obviously today has just been a regular maintenance clean on this GT3 RS, but it does highlight some of the areas where you have to treat these differently to your regular cars. I would definitely suggest, if you're going to be cleaning cars like this, you need to invest in a blower. You also need to invest in some proper care products like a wheel shampoo, as opposed to the heavy duty bleeding iron decontamination products for wheels. You do have to treat these differently to your everyday car, but at the end of the day, you're cleaning cars. So most of the standard procedure remains the same. Most of the techniques you learn, like 2 buckets, drying towels, snow foams, rinsing from top to bottom, and so on and so forth, remains the same. Hopefully in the next video, you will see us getting the machine polishers out and getting about this car and making that paintwork look even better than it does right now. But for now, we're about to run this in, get it out on its first track day, and then hopefully at some point we'll be able to show you this in action. Thank you again for watching. Please, if there's any questions, drop us a comment below, like, subscribe, do the usual stuff, and we will see you on the next one.